Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another mini
Welcome.
episode with Mystic Scales and Fae
And
Tales
Faye Tales
podcast. We are
podcast.
back with another mini episode in our Ali Hazelwood series, which is going to be going on for a little
Yay.
bit. Just to recap what the series is real quick, Lee has read all of Ali's books. She is a huge Ali Hazelwood fan, and she has gotten me, Jennifer, into Ali Hazelwood. So as I'm going on the journey of reading all of Ali's books, we are then doing mini episodes to recap, talk about them, gush about them. Some spoilers ahead. Some episodes we don't fully go into spoilers, so take it with a grain of salt depending on what you want. And
Mm.
today we are very excited to talk about Allie's journey into YA with the book Check and Mate, which Lee has a copy. Of course she does.
Yay.
Very exciting. So if you don't know, most of Allie's books are in the adult sphere, but this one is her YA book. And it doesn't take away anything at all because Lee and I are huge YA readers. We are big supporters of the
Mm.
YA community. Reading is important. Reading for teens is extremely important. So it's great to see that Allie is also in that sphere.
Hmm.
So Lee, when did you first read Check and Mate? Because it was later than publication, correct?
Oh yeah, I read it this year. Um, I got it on a sale,
Oh wow.
so that's why I bought it. And I kind of put it off for a little bit because I was like, I don't know how I feel. And then our friend Kayla read it and she was like, no, no, like it's good. So I read it and it took me a little bit to get into it, but I really did fall in love with it and I definitely, definitely recommend it. So I'm glad that I got it.
And
And I'm
I'm
glad I
glad that
have a
I got into
physical
it.
too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get a physical too.
Yeah.
You're tempting me very much to get an entire Ali Hazelwood physical collection because I am reading them on audiobook from my library. So you are
Um,
very much tempting me to buy some, which is
yeah.
great.
It's very easy to fall into for sure.
So Check and Mate. Um, oh, it won a Goodreads Choice Award. That's interesting. Wait, but I'm also reading Allie's bio. Ready for this? I'm Allie, and I write contemporary rom-com novels about women in STEM and academia. I love cats, Nutella, and side ponytails. I'm also currently learning crochet, so as you can tell, I'm a super busy gal with intense and exciting life. I only use other than the rest of. I was like, that's so funny. What a great bio, Allie. Yeah, so Check and Mate came out November 7th, 2023. Um, so it's so funny that we were
Okay.
both reading it in 2025 for the first time. But here
Hmm.
is the brief backup book ad. Mallory Greenleaf is done with chess. Every move counts nowadays. After the sport led to the destruction of her family 4 years ago, Mallory's focus is on her mom, her sisters, and the dead-end job that keeps the lights on. That is, until she begrudgingly agrees to play in one last charity tournament and inadvertently wipes the board with notorious king killer Nolan Sawyer, current world champion and reigning bad boy of chess. Nolan's loss to an unknown rookie shooks everyone, especially Mallory. What's even more confusing? His desire to cross pawns again. What kind of gambit is Noah playing? The smart move would be to walk away, resign, game over. But Mallory's victory opens the door to sorely needed cash prizes, and despite everything, she can't help falling drawn to dynamic strategists. As she rockets up the ranks, Mallory struggles to keep her family safely separated from the game that wrecked it in the first place. And as her love for the sport she does so desperately wanted to hate begins to rekindle, Mallory quickly realizes that the games aren't only the board, the spotlight is hotter than she imagined, and the competition can be fierce, in parentheses, Lee, attractive and intelligent and infuriating, dot, dot, dot. So
It's so
cute.
funny.
It is funny, and throughout the book it's funny too. And I will
Yeah.
say it's YA, but Mallory is like they are older than high school. Mallory is
Hmm.
18, and I'm pretty sure Noah is older than her too, right? Or maybe he's like 19.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah,
and
he's
like
19 or 20.
yeah, they
Yeah.
finished high school, like her best friend's going to college. Um, so it is like a older YA, I will say, which makes sense. So for Allie's, demographic to cross
Hmm.
over.
It's also like it's chess, so it's more intelligent, right? Did
For
you have a
sure.
hard time? Did you have a hard time at all? I don't. I think I've said this before. Like I know how to play chess, but I don't know like all the nuances and whatnot. I haven't seen Queen's Gambit, blah blah blah.
Either.
But yeah, how did you feel?
I don't know how to play chess at all. Like the most chess I know is wizard's chess from Harry Potter. Like I've seen
Okay.
people play. I've obviously seen it in Harry Potter. I know like the basics of like you want to protect your queen, but like everything else, no. So I really was going into this book fully blind. But I kind of loved that. I do
Okay.
think it was a little hard to follow at some points, but not fully. Like I still was invested because you like as you were going through the book and Mallory was like falling in love with chess again, like because she's like falling in love with the game, you're kind of falling in love with it as you're going. And like I didn't know how intense chess is. And like it really brings a big spotlight to like how big the sport
Yeah.
is. Like and it's a sport and like how crazy it can be and how intense it can be. I don't know if it really intrigued me enough to be like, yeah, I want to go watch chess now. But
Mm,
like, or play chess now, but it was still really cool to see like this aspect of it. And it was also really cool to see the young people dominating it against the people that
mm,
have been there for years.
hmm.
Um, and yeah, so it was definitely at some point you're like, what is happening? Like, why is this so intense? But then you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I get it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I, yeah, I was like very invested. I was like, oh, this is so, like, I'm so curious about
Hmm.
this. And it's funny because like there's a new old Broadway show
Oh yeah.
coming called Chess.
Oh my
So now
God.
I feel like I've been immersed in like or dipped my toe in the world of chess. So like I gotta go see this show. And it's about the Americans and the um Russians competing against each other. But like now we know like the stakes are high.
Very
So thank
high.
you, Allie.
Yeah, and I also was like, I wondered too with like reading it, which I never researched. I was like, dang, are the prizes really that big? I was like, that's a lot of
Mm,
money. That's a lot of money,
hmm.
honey. It's like no
Yeah.
wonder everyone's so intense about it. Like hell yeah. It kind of reminded me.
Mhm.
This is a really bad like parallel, but you know the movie like the one with Keke Palmer, the Selling Bee one.
Oh yeah.
Like how intense that is like
Hmm
how
hmm
intense this felt, but like for adults because that one they're kids. So
hmm
I was like so into it. I was like, this is so fun. And it was crazy
Yeah.
to me that like they're training, like watching past games and like
Mm.
trying to like go through them and find like the flaws and stuff.
Hmm
I was like, that is
hmm
so intense to memorize. I'm sure they do that with other
hmm
sports too, like watch past plays
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But like these
Yeah.
are like hours they're rewatching and like studying them and going through books and like
hmm
theory and like um it made sense to me why Ali did it because like it's so close to STEM in that aspect of like all the studying and the researching and stuff. But
Sure.
it was really, really cool to see that side of like a different world, I guess.
Yeah. And that like a match can take hours and like it doesn't to them it doesn't feel like it, but like hours have gone by. Just wild.
Wild. So how
Wow.
did you feel about our main character, Mallory, with this book?
Um, I thought Mallory was very realistic, very relatable. She kind of has the weight of the world on her shoulders. Unfortunately, she kind of does it to herself, but don't we all at some point? So she feels like she has to take care of her family. She feels like it's like what she learned about her father, like ruined her family. So like that was very relatable, very sad. But I
Very,
think
very
she
sad.
has, yeah. But like I just think that Allie does such a good job of her growth and her like coming to terms with that. Um, like her relationship with her friend was very dicey, but in such a real way. Like her friend goes away to college, she doesn't. How do they deal with that? They kind of like feel like they have a friend breakup, but it's just kind of miscommunication.
I love that too because we get an unreliable narrator. Because this whole time,
Hmm
I'm really mad at the friend. And then when we come to terms when they have their conversation, it's like, wait, like maybe Mallory wasn't also a good friend. And we're only believing
hmm
her because we see her side. And then you have to piece together the things that you're missing. I was like, I
hmm
loved that. It was a great throw in
hmm
because then I'm like, oh, actually, I don't really hate this friend. Like, maybe our main character
Yeah.
is just not perfect, and that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, I remember like having to stop and like think about it and like put myself like in her friend's shoes and everything and be like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And
Yeah, I'd
again,
be
like just
pissed. I was like,
so
my friend's not contacting me, but she's on this big screen in chess, and like she's not even telling me she's doing all of this. Like, I would be mad too.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And like after she's like given up on chess, like written it off so like exclusively, yeah,
Yeah, like
it's a
how are you
lot.
sending me a
But
meme of something we love, but not telling me what you're up to, and like how you're like going to the world championship? Like, come on.
right, right. Yeah. But yeah, no, I thought it was handled very well. Like, and then with her sisters, like that was very heart-wrenching. And like her just seeing them kind of be without her too was
Yeah.
difficult. Um, but and
It's kind of
again,
like
like her
breaking
mom,
that trauma for herself too.
yeah. And her mom has health issues, so we're seeing that side of things. I also loved that like she was a mechanic. Like
Yeah.
that was just so cool. Like she's so smart and just like tough. And
Yeah.
it's not like your typical girly FMC. So I thought
I
she
love
was
that
pretty
too.
great. Yeah.
So what do we think of Noah, our male?
You mean Nolan?
Nolan. Oh my God. My
He does
bad.
have
Too
he does
many
have two
names.
first names. Nolan
Um,
Sawyer.
what do we think of,
I
let's try that again. What do you think of Nolan Sawyer, the King Killer?
I love him. What do you think?
Shocker, Lee loves every male character that Ali writes.
Pretty
No, I loved
much.
him too. I think he was really funny, and I liked how like he kind of is a dick. Like he's not a dick.
He's not.
He's not a dick, but to the rest of the world,
No.
like they see him that way. Yeah, you're right. Let me backtrack. Let's try it again. Trying to remember this character too. Um,
He's
no,
quiet.
I liked Nolan. Like I felt bad. I felt for Nolan a lot because like her putting them so young when they're starting up in chess too, like him having to grow up in the spotlight, and like they talk about other characters doing that. Like you have to go through like your awkward ages, your teen years in the spotlight. Like that's so much pressure. And then the internet painted
Hmm.
him to be a certain way. So then he
Hmm.
and he missed, like he did make mistakes. Like he had anger issues and things like that. But like it's so sad to see because then it's just like, ah, like that pressure could really get to you. But it was great to see at the same time that he kind of ignores it. That he's like, I know who I am. I'm gonna stay in my
Hmm.
lane. Like
Hmm.
whatever they say about me, like whatever. I don't care. I'm not gonna listen to the noise. But it does suck. Like he
Yeah.
must feel so much weight and stuff and pressure and embarrassment and things of growing up in the limelight. And it's like,
Well, yeah, and like he
it
has to
sucks.
follow his grandfather's footsteps.
That's too.
So he's like a nepo baby, but like it's earned, like he's smart enough for smarter. And then like the whole thing with his grandfather and like he gets, is it like Alzheimer's or dementia?
Yeah, yeah.
And like Nolan is the one to like see it and to have to like call it out. Like that lives with him. And he's he's too young to have had to do that and to have to like carry that. And he just kind of goes with it. I love the moment when they're in Italy, so like they're in the championship and they're not together. Like he and Mallory are not together. They're not really even speaking, and he still like stands up for her. And like at the press conference, he still like covers for her and protects
Yeah.
her. And I'm just like, that's just like who he is, like to his core, and I love it. So
I also
yes,
love the moment when she was at the other championship and she quote unquote didn't know he was there and he was sending her things like
hmm.
throughout, like he gave her all the tips, and I
Hmm.
think he sent her food at one point, if I like can't like that was
Yeah,
just
I
so
think it was candy.
sweet. Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
Oh God, gotta love him. Like it was great. And I liked how young they were because they were learning so much also through each other. Like it
Hmm.
wasn't like one of them
Hmm.
was like, had their shit together and the other one didn't. Like it felt
Hmm.
like they were still learning a lot, especially because she challenged him and that's what he
Right.
needed. He needed that spark
Right.
again because he also was losing his spark. Like he was like, yeah, I'm good at chess, I'm gonna keep going, like whatever, but he was losing his like why and his reason
Hmm.
for doing this. And I think that
Hmm.
also has to come with, like we said, the pressure of the family, the pressure of growing up in the limelight, all that stuff. So like she reinvigorated that for him. She made him find his why, and
Hmm.
why he loves the game and why he wants to keep going and the difference he can make in this world. So that was really, really, really sweet that they both were able to have this journey on their own and then come together.
Hmm. Yeah. And like you always say, like they had their splitting point and they kept going, they kept growing without each other. So they didn't need each other.
Hmm.
But then when they got to be back together, you were like, okay.
Yeah, they never need each other. They could be who they want to be, but they inspire each other so much that them being together
Yeah.
makes them better.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And so you have to keep them in your brain. And when you get to deep end, you need to look for them. Because
That's
I actually didn't,
crazy.
yeah, I didn't catch it. I saw it on the internet. So you reading with fresh eyes when you get there, like, please let me know.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, I was gonna say, I thought we were gonna see in a different book because they're in flipping Italy right now, and we know a book
Yeah.
later on is in Italy, and I was like, oh, I was imagining like I don't know, I'm reading. Well, you read Problematic Summer Romance already, but in my head I was imagining when I read Problematic Summer Romance that like they like pass a sign that's like chess tournament here, and I'm like, ah, we know who's there. Like that's what I was assuming. So yeah, that's kind of awesome that we get to see them. That's a random book to see them in.
I know. But actually that it makes sense. Well, I don't know when this tournament is happening, but you do see deep end people in problematic summer romance. So like that timeline is lining up.
Mm.
Um, I just don't know when this tournament is, but
Well, they
yeah, that
also said that
is
they have had the tournament in that location before. So it's like it
mm-hmm,
could be even if it's not the same tournament, it could be a tournament like later on that's still in the location again. Because like that they mentioned that like this place is like built for it essentially. Like it's
mm-hmm.
like they made it that way. So that makes sense. And of course it has to be in Italy because Miss Ali Hazelwood is from Italy. So I loved that.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved
Yeah.
that. It was so sweet when her whole family went, her best friend went, and at that point, like they all got over and they're like, let's just be together and love chess together. And you're just like, yes, and do it in Italy.
Oh my God. When he was like taking her sister out for like gelato and everything. Ah, so sweet. So sweet.
Were you like happy or sad we didn't see the final competition?
Um, I guess a little sad. I mean, I know you said you really liked the epilogue being that like article. I was kind of left wanting.
Hmm.
So I think yeah, I was a little sad that I just wanted to see more of them
I did wish we saw the competition.
together.
I wanted to see it. Like I
Yeah,
really did.
because she wins, right?
I think
Or
so,
is
or
it
she wins later on.
ambiguous?
I don't remember. They say it in the you have the book? They say it in the book.
I do, yeah. Um,
I don't remember what they say at the end of the chapter or in the article about what happens to them. And for the listeners, the reason I like the article because I think it was just a cute connection all around that like the British person who's been following her from the beginning, the reporter, then writes an article later on as they're not an intern anymore about Mallory. So it felt like their journey was connected from the beginning. And Mallory has a throughout it, like she just doesn't like the press and doesn't understand all that, which makes sense. So it's nice that the person that she
mhm.
like trusted, I guess, and like felt comfortable with is the one that ended up ending the book and writing the article about her. Like it was just cute. But I agree that like, oh, we can't get to see where they go from here, like where that's
Yeah,
gonna happen with
yeah.
book two, Allie.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Nudge, nudge.
So it says he's still number one, so I guess she did not win. She's number five. Um, yeah, there were so many like nuances, like even like her mentor there being with the like grouchy guy
Yeah, it
who
was cute.
was also kind of a mentor. Like that was just another. I liked that it was like a nod to Mallory, like not really paying attention, like you're saying, like not being a reliable narrator, and she's kind of just focused on herself, but is learning, is growing.
So what did you rate this book overall?
I'm sure I gave it like a 4.5 or a 5.
Yeah, I don't think
I
I've gone below
really,
4 for any of Allie's books so far.
yeah, like
I really like
there's
this one
only,
though.
yeah, there's only two that I've really like been like, eh. But no, I really enjoyed this. It took me a while to get into it. I thought it was a little slow at first.
Hmm.
And then I just found myself like really interested in the chess of it all. And I was like, I want to know more.
That's so funny. I was really
So,
interested in her family of it all. And I was like in this dynamic,
mm,
and I'm just like, oh, she has this hero complex. She needs to get over it. But like, why does she have it? And, like, you don't find it out until you're later in the book about why. And I also was
yeah.
interested in the chess, but I will say her character, Mallory's character, is the one that really got me intrigued from the beginning to the end.
Oh no, I gave it a 3.5. Interesting.
Update.
I I think I should give it a higher rating.
Yeah, updated to at least 4.
Can I do that?
Yeah, you can. I think you can edit it.
Edit? Yeah.
I have to
Right.
check my Fable, but I'm pretty sure all of Ali's books so far have been above 4 for me. So that is a great way to suggest everyone, hint, hint, to read this book. If you are in the Ali Hazelwood journey and you haven't read Check and Mate because whatever, you're like, oh, it's the YA. No, it's just as intense, just as awesome story-wise, just as deep as the other ones. And there is some like closed door spice. Like there's not, I know people only sometimes read romance for spice, which is annoying. Like there's more to romance than just spice. But if
This one
that's
is
why
like,
you're intrigued, do it.
yeah. I mean, yes. This one was sweet because like it was his journey,
Yeah.
which I enjoyed. Like Mallory is a little more aloof and
Oh, and
like
Mally
finding
was
pleasure.
bisexual too, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
Loved the
Mm-hmm.
representation. Loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I liked that. Like I liked that um I don't know. They got to like be together in a very like youthful, natural way. Even if his friends were like back and forth, on and off, craziness. Um, but yeah, I'm so glad that you've read this. Now three. How
I
exciting.
know. 3 of Allie done. Check and mate
Mate.
done. We
I love it. I
love
love it.
it. So what am I reading next week? Actually, I haven't downloaded anything. We're going back to Love on the Brain now?
I think you got to do Love on the Brain, yeah.
Okay, so
But you can read
next
that physical
episode.
if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I might. I don't know. I thought about that with Bride too, because I actually really do like the audiobook reader. That I don't know if
Mm,
it's the same girl, but the ones she's had so far, actually really enjoyed them. Um,
okay.
so I might just keep doing the audiobook because yeah, like I said, I like having now these physical copies signed and doing the audiobooks because they're so
Yeah.
good that I want the physical copy. So we'll
Yeah.
see. Oh, maybe I'll go back and forth between the two. But that means for our listeners, our next Ali Hazelwood mini episode coming soon to all of you will be focused on Love on the Brain by Ali
Yay.
Hazelwood. Duh. So if you haven't read it, get your book, get your Libyan. You have about,
Mm.
our mini episodes come out every other week, so you have like some time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about Love on the Brain. And I would love to do an episode too where we talk about like which ones we want made into movies, because Love
Mm.
Hypothesis getting made into movie. Hopefully that means they'll keep going. But like that's not guaranteed. Like that's a lot of movies. So when we're
Yeah.
done with the
Yeah, that
series, we'll definitely
is.
do some recap on which ones should be like TV series, which ones should be movies. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but before we do that, I do want to ask one more question. For Check and Mate, would you rather a TV show or a movie?
Um,
I think I want a TV show. I think it would lend itself great to like episodically
I
go through
guess,
this.
yeah, a TV show. I think more and more I'm just leaning towards I don't want anything. Like I just want a book.
I
Like
love that. She
I
said
I
no
like
adaptation.
I like preserving the magic of it all. So
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm at. But I guess I would say a TV show if we're gonna pick one for this. Just because like teen stuff these days is hot. So they could once again,
Hot.
it'd have to be Amazon. They're the only ones making good stuff.
And they're
unfortunately.
only doing book to TV
So,
so much. Like I even saw another
yeah.
ad for another book that I haven't read yet that they're doing. Like another one that came out. I was like, what the? Oh, I'm missing so I'm like, do I have to read all these books? Great. So fun. All that to
Uh,
say, thank you all for listening to another Ali Hazelwood mini episode. Make sure to check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Faye Tales Podcast, and also our app on the app Fable to see our book club that inspired this entire podcast to begin with. We are currently reading the Gods and Monsters series by Amber V. Nicole. So we're reviewing the first book. So check out our long episodes that come out on the opposite weeks of the mini episodes, where we go through and review the episodes. I mean the book, but also join the book club so that way you can, read the book and react with us and join along. Thank you all for
yeah.
listening. We hope that you are inspired to go play chess, maybe, or at least, at the very least, to read this book. So cozy up with a nice Ali Hazelwood book and happy reading.
Happy reading.